Fascino.
In a faraway kingdom, the royal family with magical powers have ruled the kingdom for many centuries. The secret for the magical power that they wield are the glowing scepters passed down by their ancestors. The scepter will glow in the hand of the royal to prove that they had gotten their power. With the power comes responsibilities. They all had their own duties to be done. With the powers given to them, they had built a strong kingdom that had high security and a peaceful place for their people. The kingdom was ruled by the emperor and empress with the help of their princess and prince. Arabell, the first and only princess in the kingdom, woke up early to the kitchen to help with the cooking. Her everyday outfits have no jewelry and just a plain dress. The maids and butlers in the palace have always ignored her since her powers gift ceremony. During breakfast, she would change her outfit to a beautiful dress to cover up in front of the emperor and empress. Arabell's relationship with her younger brother, Prince Aiden, has always been venerable. They argue with each other every chance they meet.
Do you like the meals? How could she hate it when it is her favorite? Huh?
Arabell's face flushed with anger, but she stayed quiet.
What do you mean, Aiden? Nothing, my dear. It is my favorite food.
Aiden looked at his sister cynically. He despised his sister greatly. The Empress dowager gives a disgusted glance at Arabell and finished her food fast. The Emperor and Empress looked at each other curiously but say nothing.
Oh yeah, Aiden. Today is your power gift ceremony, so you have to look presentable tonight.
Yes, Aiden. Don't be too nervous, okay? We will always support you.
Aiden smiles at his parent and takes a glance at Arabell's face. His smile widens when he noticed that Arabell looks down spirit with the announcement made by their father. After finishing her breakfast, Arabell excused herself to her room. Today we will witness the new power that will be given to the only prince in the kingdom. Come forward, Prince Aiden. Aiden walks down the aisle to the throne with a dignified look and charismatic posture. Everyone present in the throne room was mesmerized by his aura. Then he kneels in front of the Empress dowager with both his hands above his head, ready to hold the scepter. Arabell at the side waiting with anticipation. Half of her heart hopes that Aiden get the power, but the other half hopes that he will be the same as her. When the Empress dowager gives Aiden the scepter starts glowing with gold light, and Aiden's looks change from one expression to another. When the glows disappear, Aiden smiles broadly and begins to show his new power to everyone present. He lifted the Empress dowager with only one hand. Everyone was stunned for a minute before clapping their hands ceremoniously. Tonight is the perfect night for a perfect prince to receive such a power to strengthen the kingdom defense. This is proof that Prince Aiden is the one and only suitable heir to the throne.
I hereby swear on my honor that I will use the power given to me to enhance our forces and protect the kingdom with my life.
Everyone clapped their hands again, and after the oath-taking ritual, Arabell feels left out when everybody in the kingdom pays attention to Aiden and ignores the fact that Aiden has a sister which is her. Arabell excused herself to the balcony. Her eyes were full of tears waiting to burst. She put up both her hands to cover her face. Just when he burst into tears, she heard a cracking sound around her. Arabell looks up and is surprised to see that the wall of the place is starting to crack. She ran as fast as she could to inform the Emperor and everyone else. Inside the throne room, the dancing ball began and everyone enjoyed the ball leisurely. Suddenly, Arabell rushed into the room, causing the hall to become silent.
What the heck are you doing, Arabell?
Looks, it's not like I want to destroy your ceremony, but the palace will collapse soon. The wall has already started to crack. Please do something about this, Your Majesty.
What are you talking about, Arabell? Where did you see the crack?
Yes, show us where you see the crack. Are you sure that you are not hallucinating? Yes, Your Majesty. Please follow me.
When they arrived at the balcony, the crack was nowhere to be seen. Arabell feels confused. The Empress dowager walks in front of Arabell and says something to her ears. Have you had enough? You totally embarrassed the royal family. I never admit that you are of the same bloodline with our royal family. So stop being a disgrace to this family and kingdom.
I totally see it with my own eyes.
Arabell tried to search for another witness, but unfortunately, there was no one with her at the balcony that time. It is just Arabell alone with no escort or even maid by her side. Now she feels desperate with the Empress dowager's word. Her heart cannot tolerate it anymore. She looks at the Emperor and Empress. Although they didn't say anything, their facial expression says everything. Everyone in front of her doesn't believe her words. Arabell felt suffocated and immediately ran through the crowd towards her room. Arabell dropped her body on the white bed of her bedroom. Her eyes were drenched with tears again. Arabell really didn't lie about the crack, but no one believed her. Even her parents that always supports her became hesitant to defend her. When she saw hesitation in her parents' eye, she felt like being thrown back to reality. Arabell was the only one in the royal family that the scepter didn't glow and gave her power. She always thinks that she will get the power because before her power gift ceremony, the Empress dowager was very close to her. She will always tell her stories about the scepter's holder with their unique power. The Empress dowager always encouraged her that she will get the most unique power since her birth was special to everyone in the kingdom. Arabell was the firstborn princess. Since 100 years, the royal family started to rule the kingdom.
Just what did I do so wrong? Why doesn't everyone trust me when I am also the princess of this kingdom? Arabell, why did you run away? You could just tell us your anxiety. You know that your father and I will never put the blames onto you. I know, but everyone doesn't trust me, and both of you are also hesitant to believe me, right? It's not that we don't trust you, but I think you are just too tired from Aiden's ceremony. Don't misunderstand us, okay?
Arabell cupped her face to the pillow. She had guessed this answer from her parents. It's not like she blamed them. It's just that they were too busy to realize that the Empress dowager had already disowned her, causing her to be the abandoned princess. The maid and butler in the palace treat her like an invisible person. She always had to cook for herself, wash her own clothes, and clean her own room, while her maid attendant just leisurely slacked off in front of her. After that, the Empress left Arabell's room and Arabell just lay down on her bed thinking about the crack. Then, she determined to check the balcony one last time so that she can prove that she wasn't hallucinating. Arabell walks toward the balcony without making any sound. When she neared the balcony, Arabell heard someone talking with a sad voice, and that someone was the Empress dowager. Dear Highness, what should I do? The anxiety that I always felt became stronger tonight. Is it a good sign or a bad sign for the kingdom? Is this all my fault? If only I hadn't forced Otter to see the future, this would not take the worst turn. Now it has become chaotic. Otter was nowhere to be seen since then, and Arabell still didn't get her power. I need your guidance, dear. Please help me, dear Highness. After hearing the Empress dowager pleading, Arabell felt that the Empress dowager did not like her, but just anxious because she didn't get her power. Now, Arabell resolved to save the scepter's magic for her grandmother. Arabell also heard about his uncle, Grand Duke Arthur. After her power gift ceremony, her uncle has run away from the palace. Now, she got clues to solve the great problem that is her uncle. But she began to wonder where should she start the search for her uncle. Suddenly, an idea popped up in her brain. Grand Duke Arthur's room. She rushed to the room mentioned.
Where could I find the clues?
Arabell began to search the entire room. After a while, she started to lose hope again. Just then, she saw a portrait of her with the background of the cracking place. She picked up the portrait, and suddenly the room started shaking. Arabell rushed out from the room before the room collapsed. The portrait remained unscathed in her hand.
Now that I got the portrait, I have to find Grand Duke Arthur. But where could I find him?
Just when she walked for a few steps, she got dragged into a hidden way inside the wall of the palace. Arabell's mouth was cupped with a big and beautiful hand. She looked up and saw that her uncle was the one that dragged her here. She looked around and found out that her uncle never leaves the palace, but instead lives hidden alongside them.
Hey there, Arabell. How are you doing?
I'm fine, I guess.
Arabell looked at her uncle up and down. Her uncle, Grand Duke Arthur, who always wears only formal clothes for the royal family, has now just been wearing a plain cloth on his body. Just what her uncle went through inside here the whole time.
Grand Duke, just what are you doing inside the wall of the palace this whole time? Did you patch the crack from inside here?
Just call me uncle won't hurt you, right? Yes, it is me that patches the crack on the balcony just now.
So that's why the crack disappeared when we went there again. You did all this patch alone this whole time?
Yes, because I can't blame my family to help me with this. Besides, this all happens because of my vision. So I have to take responsibility for my faults.
Arabell can feel the love that Arthur has for his family. This makes Arabell more determined to save the scepter magic and patches their family relationship.
Uncle Arthur, I need your help. Please tell me how to save the scepter's magic. I saw the portrait in your room. What is the meaning of the portrait, Uncle Arthur?
Nothing. What are you doing in my room? You don't need to see the portrait. Because of that vision, it all has become chaotic for you, right? Just live your life better, okay? Don't be like me, okay?
Arthur felt touched with Arabell's determination. He has already promised to himself that he wouldn't do the vision again, but after Arabell's pleading, Arthur decided that he would do the vision one last time. They went to his base behind the kitchen. At the base, he started he starts preparing the necessity for the ritual of his vision.
You might want to hold hands with me the entire time we do this.
Okay.
Arthur starts his vision, and all the vision that he saw the night of Arabell's power gift ceremony repeats again, and he became this spirit.
It never changes, you know. We are just wasting our time here.
No, it cannot be. I'm sure that there are some details that we overlook. There.
The portrait continued with a portrait of two people hugging each other. Arabell was surprised when she knew that the person she must hug to save the scepter magic is Aiden, her annoying brother.
Oh, it's actually good. You just need to hug your brother.
Seriously, Aiden?
This is why I don't want to do this anymore.
After that, Arabell rushed to Aiden's bedroom. Even with her sudden bad mood, she is still thinking about saving the scepter magic.
Aiden, hey, I just came to apologize to you for ruining your ceremony. Can we just forget about that and hug each other? Come on, man.
So you came to apologize? I can't believe what I just heard. After ruining my ceremony, you dare show your face in front of me? Get out right now.
Please, Aiden. Let's just hug and forgive each other.
Arabell holds out her hand ready to hug Aiden. Suddenly, Aiden bursts into rage.
You know that I always hate you for your disability to get power. Because of you, I have to abandon all my hobbies and start to train as the next heir to the throne at such a young age. I always have to look presentable all the time, while you can do just anything you want.
During Aiden's rage, he himself didn't notice that his body was glowing with gold light, just like during the power gift ceremony. When he calmed down, the glow disappeared and he started to float in the air.
Hey, Aiden, you are flying right now.
What? What is this? Double power? Wow!
Aiden started floating around his room and then dragged Arabell with him to the throne room. They enjoyed themselves until they arrived at the throne room. As soon as they arrived, they continued to float around in the throne room. Then they stopped in front of the scepter, and suddenly Aiden hugged Arabell. As soon as they stopped, they saw the Empress dowager. Just what are you two doing? Arabell, stop giving bad influence to Aiden.
No, listen, grandmother. I can save the scepter's magic. Aiden was just too stressed about the perfection he must wear every day. He needs to loosen up a bit, grandmother.
Stop talking. Because of you, Arthur left the place. Aiden became out of control. Just what are you trying to do to this family? Just because you don't have the power, you don't need to destroy everything in this family.
What? Because of me? We will never be good enough to you, right? Aiden will never be strong enough for you. Uncle Arthur ran away because you only see the bad in him. You did not even try to understand any of us. Because of you, this family cried, not me.
Suddenly, the cracking sound started to resonate around the place. The place was having a quake. Everyone in the throne room and the place started running out of the place, but only Arabell rushed to take the scepter beside the Empress' seat. After that, the place collapsed and everyone didn't see Arabell out of the room. The Empress began to cry hysterically while the Emperor rushed to the ruins to search for her daughter. Aiden also tried to leave the rune, but he cannot use his power. All of the royal family cannot use their power. Everyone starts to search for the abandoned princess. All of them start to regret their behavior towards her.
Where are you, sister? Answer me, please. I promise to be good to you after this, sister.
Aiden cried sadly, thinking that he cannot see his sister anymore. The Emperor and the Empress also cried for the loss of their lovely daughter. The Empress, dowager that stunned the whole time, suddenly walked through the room and tried to lift one of the fallen bricks. Aiden, who saw this, went and helped her. After successfully lift the brick, they saw that Arabell fainted with the scepter unscathed in her arm. The Empress dowager burst into tears and held Arabell in her arm. Arabell, please, wake up, please. This grandmother promised to appreciate you more. I'm sorry I put such a heavy burden on you. Oh my, how could I do this to my own granddaughter? When the Empress dowager tears fall on the scepter starts to glow a white light, and Arabell's body floats in the air. All the breeze on Arabell's body started to fade, and suddenly the rooms were starting to become a palace again. All the people were shocked to realize that they were already in the throne room again. The Empress dowager turns to look at Arabell and is surprised to see that Arabell has woken up and smiles at them. Arabell floats to the Empress dowager's side.
Grandmother, you are not mad at me anymore, right? I only realized that my emotion has a link with the well-being of the palace and family bond. Maybe this is my power.
How do you know this?
During Aiden's ceremony, I felt so depressed. Then the palace wall started to crack. Also, when I say all the mean things to you, the crack becomes wider and splits the palace into two.
Oh, my dear Highness, you have sent me miracles, but it's just me that doesn't realize it.
I'm glad that you are safe and alive, Arabell.
Please don't do that again in the future, Arabell. You must save yourself first, you know.
I'm glad that you are safe and alive, Arabell.
Okay, it's okay everyone. I'm fine and alive. One more thing, Uncle Arthur has always been with us. He just did not show his face because he is busy patching up all the cracks around the palace. I feel sorry for him to patch the crack caused by my emotions.
After Arabell says that, Arthur came into the throne room with his face looking down unconfidently. When the Empress dowager saw Grand Duke Arthur, she rushed to hug him. She apologized to everyone in the royal family. All of them hugged each other and laughed joyfully. The end.